she was superb looking. And he was, and I'm never forgetting this. And he was like mediocre, but he was a sweetheart of a man. So I could tell he was either really rich or really had a big dick or something. And they came back and they said, listen, we know you're at this hotel, right? You said you're 3 miles from here. We live in a house. We have a warm bed. Nobody will break into your door tonight. And we'll drive you to the bus station. And you can take the bus from Baltimore to New York. They have a 9 o'clock in the morning. We do it all the time. And I looked at them and I'm like, okay. And I went back to the hotel. No, I never checked into the hotel. The bus I got into Baltimore was late. That's why I had my luggage. And I had to take a cab. And they said, no, we'll just drive you. And we went back to their place. They introduced me to their dog. They couldn't have kids or something. She was sick. And we smoked some pot. We went to bed. Next morning I got up and I smelled bacon. I had bacon. I had some eggs. They were very nice. They drove me. I think I kept in touch with them. I lost their number. But who does that happen to? I wasn't a star. I wasn't doing movies then. I was living with Josh Wolf on his couch, paying him $100 a month to live on his fucking couch. They could have done anything they wanted to me, Lee. No, Lee, and I got 1,000 of those.
That's a cool documentary.
1,000 of those fucking stories. Being in Iowa and meeting people that just want to. I remember one time I was in Arlington. There used to be. What's the club in Texas? There's the Dallas Improv and Hyenas. Well, Hyenas used to have 2 or 3 clubs. And they hired me to do Wednesday through Sunday. And that Wednesday was Black Night. And I went up on Black Night thinking I was going to die, and I killed. And on the way out, this black family took me to their house and cooked for me. They weren't millionaires. This house looked like a fucking bomb ate it. A bomb hit it. They lived in the projects, you know, and the black people out there all ganged up. In fact, there was a guy out there making pork chop sandwiches, Lee.
Just on the side of the road?
Lee, delicious.
I bet. Fried
pork chops on the side of the motherfucking street. And you took your own white bread. So it was like a thing of white bread. You know, 1,000 black hands had been in there with crack on their fingernails. God. The guy did not give a fuck. If you bought a pork chop, you would stick your fucking greasy hands in there and get 2 pieces of white bread out. He would put the pork chop on the white bread, and you would bite into it and figure out where the bone was later. Once you heard your tooth crack, booyah, you hit the fucking bone. He didn't take it out. And he gave you like a sauce, a thing of hot sauce. Again, you could see mud on the fingers and AIDS and shit and crack and fucking pussy juice, and you had to put hot sauce on your fucking pork chop, and that's how you ate it. And he barely gave you like a napkin. The napkin he gave you had his fingerprints on it that were fucking disgusting. But it was delicious. And I went to these black people's house, and they got me stoned on the worst weed ever, Lee. Like 4 of us must have smoked 15 fucking joints, and we barely got high. We went outside, we bought the pork chop sandwiches, and they gave me a ride home. I've never forgotten that. Never forgotten that. They got me high. They were very funny. They enjoyed that I was Cuban. They could have mugged me, Lee. They could something made me trust them.
Did anyone ever do anything creepy?
One time I almost got mugged in Fresno.
How?
This black football coach used to bring us up there twice a year. Me, Felipe, Gabriel, Rudy, Martin Moreno, D. Militant, a couple black comics. Real cool guy. He paid you okay. And he'd either fly you up or you drive up with those guys, Rudy or whoever. And we did a gig one night. You know, I was buying drugs. You know, I'm not going to tell you I wasn't doing nothing. And after a show, I got involved with some Mexican gangbangers with like dread, not those, you know, with those things in their hair, like Tom Segura put on the cover of his hair.
Cornrows?
White girls like cornrows. And they had tats and shit, and they had the cornrows, and we started talking. They started talking about blow, how they get it. You know, if cocaine was... and I didn't see it coming. This is the thing that you think that you're so cool, and you think you're Johnny Street, and I started talking to these fucking Mexican dudes And all of a sudden, in all this, some black dudes pulled up with like that Denzel car on Training Day, like that same type of car, no bullet holes, nothing. And they got out, and we all started talking. So one thing led to the other. And they're like, well, he's looking for this. And they're like, all right, well, why don't we take him and we just drop his ass off at the hotel after he gets his shit. You know, how much you want? And I'm like, so I didn't know what happened. I thought that the people I was with knew the Mexican dudes. All of a sudden, I'm getting in the car with the black people. And I'm in the back seat behind the driver. And we pull a little bit. And that's when I realized nobody's in this car that I know. These guys don't know me from fucking Adam Lee. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And we drive like a mile or two and there's a gas station. And I go, let's pull in there and get some sodas and stuff. And they're like, all right, G. So what type of numbers you looking to get? You know, we need 200 just to roll down. And I'm like, nah. That guy, we went to that gas station. When I pulled in at the gas station, the coach that booked those rooms pulled up. He goes, hey, let me holler at you for a second. He goes, dog, we got to get in your car. Well, what the fuck are you doing with these guys? If you need something, I'll get you something. He goes, these guys will rob you. Come on. And we got the fuck out of there. And that was the closest I ever came.
Fuck. That's scary.
But that was my fault for doing drugs. See, and every time I did that room, I always got the drugs there. Again, sometimes one night I was with Rodrigo and Felipe. Yeah. And I got a bag of meth there. And I started doing it, and I was fucked up. And Rodrigo, and I'm in Felipe's and Rodrigo's room, and I can't stop smoking cigarettes, and I can't stop talking. And I had to be honest with them. I said, I did some fucking meth. You know, what are you going to do? I don't know if it was
You can't walk on one leg?
You can't walk on one leg. Sometimes you got to hit it from two directions. I'm not going to tell you I was fucking drug-free 10 years ago. I did whatever came along. You have a little speed some nights. Fuck it. It's been a while. I'm like fucking, what's his name? It's been a while. What the fuck?
I don't know.
You gotta do a little bit of fucking yay from time to time. I wouldn't do it anymore. I wouldn't know what to do now, lady. Do you know that?
Really?
I wouldn't know what to do. And every 6 months, not that somebody asked me if I would do blow, but somebody asked me, what do I think? And I tell them, I go, I don't think anything. I think that if I ever did, I would die that night. Look, I laughed about it for 10 years. I still think of, you know, I still think of shit, you know. But again, that wouldn't have been introduced to me if it wasn't part of that journey. Because at one time, I remember, like, he was flat broke. And you asked Josh Wolf. I was living with Josh.
Okay.
All right. And that's the day that I was in the pool with the kids and the neighbors and what happened, the Josh Wolf brothers. And Josh yells down, where's the fucking whatever? And Joey, where's the whatever? I forget what he was looking for. And I yell up, you know, look in the drawer. And I spelt it wrong.
Okay.
DREW. Something stupid. You know, it was like 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Nobody had money. We had just chipped in for like toast, whatever. And we're all out there, like 11 of us by the pool. Like
that's broke if you're chipping in for toast.
You know, I was eating Josh Wolf food. Not embarrassed to say this shit. This was what it was, man. And when I scored, I gave Josh a 40. You know, right. We always were working together. This is part of that deal that people never understand. And we had to get ready because Ralphie had a barbecue. Now, in 98, Ralphie wasn't rolling in fucking dough. But I never forget that people brought meat over, and at one point, Ralphie looked at Josh, and he goes, hold on one second. I'll never forget this. And he turned around, he goes, bring this home for your kids. And it was candy, not fucking shitty candy from the dollar store. It was candy, Ralphie candy. And that night, Josh goes, you know, Ralphie's the type of guy, he had no money, but he still remembered to get my kids candies. That's something special. And I remember sleeping on Josh's, I got to talk to Josh Wolf because we got to write a sitcom on that building. I was thinking about it on the fucking plane. I was even making notes on the computer. I'm like,
wow.
We were so stupid. That building had everything.
Is that the building where you lit the homeless guy on fire by accident? His blanket?
No, this is
That's a different blanket?
This is around the corner, Vista.
Okay.
It was on Vista. On the corner was Charlie Chan Printing. And across the street was the Guitar Center. Oh my God.
On Sunset.
And then where I used to buy weed in those days was on Cumston.
Right.
Okay. So one day I went to Cumston and I had, I don't know, 37. I had $57. And I had it all planned out, right? This is like, guys, when $57 was $57, all right? I stop at Cumston, I get a 20. That leaves me with $37. Or maybe I had started the day with 37. That's what it was. I started the day with 37. I went to the weed dealer. He wasn't home. So I said, fuck it. If he's not home, I might as well go eat some Chinese. The place across the street from Rock and Roll Ralph's, they used to have a laundromat and a Chinese place. The Chinese place is probably still there. When we got there, the Chinese place was banging. They had the complete lunch special, you know, the soda, soup, egg roll, entree, white rice, the thing, the ice cream, the fucking massage, $5.99. And we were there every fucking day for lunch.
Yeah.
Ricky, happy birthday to Ricky Cruz. Ricky, fucking Ralphie, you know, it was just a tray of us who go there for lunch. Whoever was in town, John, fucking this guy, that guy, 8 of us would torture this poor Chinese lady. Then we got one. Then we started making money. We went to the all-you-can-eat sushi place with Helen. But before that, we used to go to the Chinese place.
With Helen.
Helen was the Japanese lady.
Right. No, so we used to go to the Chinese
lady
place.
was Chinese pokey. She looked like our friend Stacy Pokey, but she was only Chinese. Really cute, glasses, the whole thing. She would torture us and shit.
That's what you need in a sitcom. That's a sitcom.
So what, brother?
So that's what you need in the sitcom. Just that like all you guys going to the Chinese place. That's crazy.
There was a time in '98 where I would wake up in a radius.
Of what? Of the building?
Okay, I could have either been across the street from on Sunset. This is where you found me. I've never come clean with this, but this is where Uncle Joey learned the shit in those days. If I was legit to quit, I'd end up at Ralphie's on the floor with our friend Jody and John. If Ralphie, for some fucking reason, wasn't around, I'd end up in one of the apartments in that building. At that time, there was maybe 2 other people who had apartments in that building. If you didn't end up there, you ended up at Josh Wolf's. But at that time, let's forget about Gardner yet. Gardner had not been into place. It was Sierra Bonita, all those streets, right? From like where Rock and Roll Ralph was. I could end up on Vista in like 3 apartments. The chick with no chin, Josh Wolf, or his brother.
The chick with no chin. Go on, I'm sorry.
All right, so, and in that building there was Reefer, a white Jewish guy with a big Jewish star, sold weed, and he was hooked up with a black girl.
Of course.
He spoke with a Jamaican accent. Yeah.
A white Jewish Jamaican.
And he hid his weed in the garage. So you know we were tapping that ass, right?
Oh.
We were clipping an ounce, a half ounce, and he would blame it on his girlfriend, right? You stole my weed, man. Yeah. She would go, no, I didn't, you Jew bastard. I'm not Jewish. I'm a Rastafarian Jew. So that was one building. Then you had the chick with no chin. You had the fucking 2 call girls. You had the 2 heroin girls that were fucking great girls. But they smelled like shit because they wouldn't take showers. They wouldn't wash their paws. Oh, it was a fucking TV show. There was another girl who was very sweet. She spoke a weird language. We all used to talk to her, really cute. And one day, one of the guys pulls me over and he goes, hey, when you go home tonight, watch this movie. He wrote it down. He goes, it's on Cinemax. And like 2 weeks later, I'm in some hotel and boom, it's this neighbor, like completely naked on all fours with fucking Eric Roberts. You know, there's a guy, did you see that? He killed his wife, put her in the trunk of the car, and then took the 3 kids.
Oh, Jesus,
and
no.
They showed his picture. He's all cracked up and shit. I mean, I don't know a bad day for that. No. I know that there's bad days that people just leave the house and they have a weapon and they get out of a car and the cops, you know. There's bad days.
Did you ever fight with the cops? I know you dealt with them a few times, but no?
I couldn't file a complaint against a police officer because every time I've had contact with a police officer, I've always pretty much been a gentleman. When I was a kid, I got hit one time by a cop with a stick in a big melee. I was a young kid, like maybe in the 7th grade.
Really? I never heard of this.
It was the night that we felt up that chick's titties and shit after that basketball game. There was a fight first on the thing, and a cop hit me, and I didn't know who it was, and I wasn't mad at him. I could have been an asshole and made a big drama, because I always thought from his side of the fucking thing. There's a guy that's just telling us to go, and you get hit with a stick. But I've never been ever assaulted before. I've always had good relationships with cops. Like when they've arrested me, I've been cool because they're just doing your job. All your job is to shut your fucking mouth and don't argue with them and don't tell them that this is what really happened. Don't say a fucking word. That's the best thing you could do. Yes, no, thank you. The handcuffs hurt. They don't fucking hurt. But for me to sit here and say pigs suck and all that, I can be that type of guy. I never have been. They did a job when they arrested me, and they did the best job they could. I can't lie to you. I've never really had...
Yeah. Because I go back and forth sometimes. Like, should I be protesting? I don't know. Like, is this like an important thing to be doing? But I
Have you ever protested before?
No. What
are you gonna do? You're gonna get a stick with a fucking sign and walk down there?
You would kill me if you saw me with a stick.
I lived in Boulder, and I saw protesters from the CIA would come to town, and they'd come to recruit on campus. I don't know if they recruited or they took applications or they spoke to applicants or whatever the fuck. And there was always little wars on there, and these kids would go down there. And then I figured out who these kids were, that, you know, they were trust fund kids that just wanted to get some form of attention, and I got it, you know. And unless you really believe, it's not that I don't like protesters and what they stand for, is I think that sometimes people are down there protesting and they don't even know what they're protesting for.
Right.
They're just protesting to make friends. It was like that thing I always made fun of, that thing that happened downtown years ago.
Some of the Wall Street, something.
Yeah, the people who were going to shut down the corporations, but meanwhile they're calling their mommies on the iPhone. You know, making videos and sending tweets out. You're not shutting nobody down. This is what a complete shutdown is, throwing all that shit away. You can't stand online on Apple for your fucking phone and all that.
Yeah.
But you were on to something very interesting, and that was the cop thing. No, Lee, I always knew they had a job. When I was a kid, I was exposed to cops that came in once a week, got an envelope, and that was whether it was the bookie place in the Bronx. For a long time, when I went to Catholic school on Saturdays, I helped out this other bookie, Chael, and they always had a relationship with cops, and it was a known thing that, listen, we're going to do this for business. Nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's getting bitch slapped. We're not selling drugs here. Here's an envelope just to make sure everybody knows we're on the legit side. Some people would judge me and say that's the wrong, you could never pay.
So that's not from the movies. Like, they would actually do that. They'd actually have cops. Do you consider them dirty cops?
Well, there's fucking jerk-offs and there's gentlemen. And that's in every fucking business.
Yeah.
There's jerk-offs and there's gentlemen. There's guys that come in and go, Lee, how you doing? My name is Detective whatever. This is great that you have a new bar here and everything's fine here, but from 12 to 5, a kid works here, Joey Diaz, and he's a known felon. And I know he takes book here. And I know that if somebody wants to get a gun or maybe a kilo of coke, he could arrange it from. We could shut you down. Right now, I could call the ABC and shut you down for employing this guy. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send somebody in here once a week. You're going to give them an envelope. Let's say, what do you pull out of here a week? Let's say in real life, Lee, you pull out 13,000. They're going to say 10,000. And you're going to go, okay, all right, he got me. Every week we want 400 a week. All right, that's one cop who comes in, shakes you down. This is the old days. I don't know what happens today. This is when my mother had the bar. You're never going to see that guy again.
Okay, but
every week a patrol guy is going to come in.
So let's say that guy came in.
Now, then there's going to be, that's a sheriff.
Okay.
Then a city cop's going to come in.
Oh, no.
And he's going to want 200, and you're going to agree to that. Because if your alarm goes off, they're going to be there. If you shoot somebody in the bar, they're going to be there and clean it up first. What happened here? This guy pulled the gun. Lee, you sure? Yeah. Put a fake gun in his hand. Boom, call the cops. You paid. Now what's going to happen is, but every once in a while those guys go, they retire, and you got a young guy who thinks he's slick. And he'll come in one night and throw a beating on Lee. And then say how he wants this much money. And then come in there once a month, get a couple drinks on the house, embarrass my mom, and embarrass the customers. What the fuck do you do? You go to the other guys and you talk to him and you move him. You got cops like that. In the 60s and 70s, something would always happen with those fucking cops.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, something would always happen with those cops because you had people that just wanted to do business. And they wanted to keep it low-key. They just wanted to put their kids through college. And they'd help you out. They really did help you out. Like I said, if somebody broke your glass, they were there first. They'd have somebody that had bought up your glass. If your alarm went off and some hump down the corner's alarm went off, they came to your alarm. Some people at home disagreeing with me now. But I'm telling you what I saw as a young man, where the etiquette was in the 60s and the 70s.
Did you ever see like a business say no? Or did your mom ever say no?
I know that there were some businesses that probably said no. I don't know what happened to them, whatever. I know that also if the ABC was out checking IDs or whatever, these city cops came in and told you their schedule. Also, if the DEA was in town shaking down Spanish bars, these city cops told you your schedule. Oh. When the DEA comes to town, they have to stay at a hotel. They don't stay they stay at a fancy hotel and they put it under the DEA credit card. People at the hotel that work at the hotel get the word out. The DEA is in town. That's it. Everybody knows to close up shop, to slow down a little bit. These cops would help you out. So if somebody was watching your bar, they'd tell you, somebody's watching your bar. This is full-time coverage. I don't know how it is now. There's drugs involved, there's crack involved, there's weapons involved. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm away from that. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's my main thing of going to acupuncture. My insurance covers it, so I got to go. They don't cover all the visits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I work something out with it.
Yeah.
That's why, for my circulation.
That's good.
Because you have to. You know what my ankles were like when I was 4'18", when I did the longest yard?
You were 4'18"?
When I did the longest yard, I was 4'18" right there.
Jesus.
Look at my stomach. Look at that. Laying down, it was a foot away from me.
I got to go look closer.
Laying down, it was a foot up in the air.
Really?
I couldn't breathe. Right there, that scene was killing me right there at that point. At that point, I already had the sleep apnea, but even the machine wasn't really helping me. I was sleeping 6 hours a night, a lot better than what I was doing. But I read up, and that's the whole thing, is that sleep apnea doesn't bring a lot of blood to all your parts. So people who have sleep apnea, they say they have a higher thing of getting cancer.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go to acupuncture and get everything clear, get those chakras open, get those blood veins going. That's so important to me. You don't know how many times I do that in the daytime. I just hang my feet up on the wall. You put your ass to the wall. Mm-hmm. Your ass has to, so you have to sniggle in there and then flip over and put your feet up and just leave them there.
Shit.
Put the TV on and just leave them there. It's a great fucking move. I'm not a yoga teacher. I'm just some fat fuck that's trying to learn. How you doing, Lisa? What do you got going on? We're gonna do another show Wednesday night. It's an 8 o'clock show. Post fucking surgery. I'm still going up the stairs. Are you gonna do it
then? Really?
Post surgery. Fuck, not too.
You're an animal.
I'm doing the surgery tomorrow.
You're an animal.
Tomorrow night I'll sleep like a baby. I got these things. I got a couple of vodka martinis. Lisa's gonna bring some of these bitches over and give me a little
Wednesday
rub.
you do it.
Wednesday I'll get a good night's sleep. I got to take a Puerto Rican shower. I'm going to be disgusting.
For how long?
Until I get the stitches out.
How long is that?
Thursday morning at 10:15.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck.
Thursday morning, 10:15, the stitches go on. On the way home, I go to Toluca Lake, sign up for the fucking physical therapy. From there, I go to the YMCA and do 5 minutes on the bike. And it's on after that. After that, you're going to see like Rocky drinking fucking eggs, running on fucking the street here like a savage. I don't want to hear no excuses. What's up with you? What's going on with you? Tell me something.
I'm doing my fucking pods, I'm doing my shows. So
how's the wife?
She's great. She's great, man.
Fucking savage.
She's a savage. She's hitting the road all the time, almost every week, and then we're doing our podcast, and just trying to fucking
put the pieces together.
Yeah, dude. Same thing.
You look good.
Thanks, buddy. I'm going to Hong Kong. I'm going to do that comedy festival. So that should be fun.
Hong Kong Comedy Festival?
Yeah.
Who's doing it with you?
The show I'm on has Pete Lee and Chad Daniels. So
what about your wife? She don't go to Hong Kong?
She's not going to Hong Kong. No.
What type of fucking pimp are you? That's who you take your wife to Hong Kong.
No, because the schedule's crazy. We were going to do it, and then the schedule came out, and it's like, once we're there, we're on planes, and it's a week, so it'd be like Hong Kong, a day, Singapore, which is a 4-hour flight, another day or two there, fly back. It's not like, hey, enjoy Hong Kong for a week. It's plane, another plane, a ferry, another, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think it's very chill or conducive to, I want to go for like a
holiday.
Yeah. Proper rest.
But you went to Hong Kong. When was the last time you went to Hong Kong?
I've never been to Hong Kong.
Be fucking thankful, cocksucker. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for having me, dude. Thank you for having me here.
You're fucking family. I've been calling you for 2 years. 2 years. We've been saying Tom Segura, get him on. We got his wife, Lee's
fucking
face.
48 hours of, I'm on the road right now too much. I'm going to try to change. I am changing it. I'm like starting in November.
You're in Denver this weekend. At
Denver.
The Comedy Works.
Right. Then the festival. Then September 18th, I'm doing the Fort Lauderdale, one night only. Christina and I together.
Okay.
So
you're flying down and coming right back.
No, I'm going to stay there a week, hang with the family, then Orlando Improv, and then I do a bunch of like one-nighters and stuff the rest of the year.
Doug, I'm on the same fucking... I'm rehabbing this leg. This thing starts September 18th. Brea, New York, Denver.
Yeah.
Portland, San
But
Francisco.
the key with you, I always see this with you, and that's what I'm trying to do more of, is you have your absolutes, like you're not doing Sunday, and you're not going to you're going to take your break if you want it, if you need it. That's the important thing to do, I think, is you got to plan out shit more. You know what I mean? So
I'm not 28.
Right.
I want to give you the best show possible. I want to give you the best that I could be. If I'm tired or my leg hurts,
then it's hard to
or
do.
I'm thinking about something else, I'm not going to give you the best show I can. On a Saturday night, I'm not thinking about nothing else. On a Friday, I'm not thinking about nothing else. On a Thursday, I'm not thinking about nothing else. On a Sunday, I'm thinking about my family.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how I should have dinner with my family. That's what families fucking do on a
I
Sunday.
love going home on a Sunday.
But no, I got to sit here and do a show for 85 fucking people because the club owner said last Sunday they were fucking packed. We had a bunch of reservations, so I kept you over. Listen, in July and August, no more. You're not going to do tickets no more. Joe had a great weekend in Denver. That's Joe in Denver.
Yeah,
But majority of comics right now, anywhere where there's cold weather, people don't want to be put in a fucking building now till September. People in Buffalo, Syria, those people don't want to.
Yeah, it's going to be much slower, for sure.
So there's a reason for that. I'm not out to waste nobody's fucking time. I want to give you the best possible show I could give you. I will wake up early at 3 o'clock and get on a plane. Lee knows this. Everybody knows this about me. We bumped into airports before.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to be rested. And 10 years ago, you come see me, and you get a guy that hadn't slept in 3 fucking nights.
Yeah.
2 from doing blow and 1 night from doing radio. The first night you get there. You live in L.A. You're in fucking Miami. The first night, you're on a 3-hour difference. Even if you don't do blow, you're just sitting there till 5, and they're picking you up at 6 to do radio. Because you usually go to L.A. to sleep at 2.
That's the crazy thing that people don't understand is how tired you are.
You're fucking tired.
Yeah. I mean, if you do the road week after week after week.
I've gone with Joey 2 times, and we usually do the podcast Wednesday mornings until recently, and then Joey takes I was with you at 3:30 a.m. going to LAX, and then the next day is radio, and then with you, it's not like you have an easy night. I'm getting stoned as fuck and up late, and then you take the 7 a.m. flight back. So I was exhausted after 1 week of doing it.
It's tough. And I remember going to Houston and doing Wednesday through Sunday and doing blow and doing 3 mornings of radio.
It's a lot, man.
You have no fucking idea. And you're blowing up. You're eating sodium. And you're just blowing up on the fucking road. You're drinking beer. You're smoking cigarettes. You're smoking pot. I mean, it's just amazing.
And don't they give, like, in Vegas, like, a Monday to Sunday? Like, isn't it, like, a full week?
It's a fucking nightmare. That is the worst, man.
It's a long fucking week. It's too long of a week for me at this age. I cannot do it. I can't give the people a decent show. Why would I want to do that? Bring me one Uncle Tom if you don't mind. Oh, thank you, brother. I got it. Oh. And that's why I opt to do that. I want to do the podcast on Mondays and Wednesdays. I want to go to jiu-jitsu Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
I want that option. You know, I want to.
Howdy ho there. How you doing?
And hello. I'm doing great. Hello from Nashville.
Yeah, look at you. How was your weekend?
It was amazing. It was great. It didn't start off great. Thursday was a little bit rough. It wasn't as rough as Connecticut, but it wasn't great. And I called you, and you just gave me your advice is usually to get high, but you're like, listen, I need you to have fun. And so, like, Friday, I like rewrote my entire set, and I got high because I haven't been getting high before I got on stage. And Friday and Saturday were almost all amazing sets. I tried a new joke on Saturday, and it kind of derailed the momentum a little bit, but I had like 4 really good shows.
You know, I've found out recently again that the 2 most important sayings when you're doing stand-up or anything, acting, playing the drums is, you know, I forgot. Anyway, the
Is have fun.
One is that, you know, when we forget. So that's why with you, I'm trying to build a muscle of fun. You know, when I started this, I was obviously, 28 years old. And I didn't really get a bite into this till I was about 31 or 32. And here I am on the ground floor of stand-up comedy, and my friends are getting married, and they're going on vacations to Acapulco and shit. So I want you to think of all these things. Your mind puts extra pressure on you now, and I look back now and I'm like, when I did those showcases, like Josh brings you to a club. He brings you now, you have a push in there. And it's a lot easier than you showing up on a Saturday with your nose wide open, trying to do a guest spot. So you're like me, you want to do well.
Right.
And we put this unnecessary pressure on ourselves. When we do stand-up or anything, playing a band, and we forget to have fun. Number 2, before I forget again, did I tell you that I watched that fucking thing with the night that they made that stupid We Are the World? Did we talk about that last week?
I don't think so.
Okay, there's a show on Netflix in 1984. A lot of you guys are too young for this. All these musicians got together and did We Are the World, We Are the Future, right? A bunch of fucking, like, whoever was hot in 84.
Right.
And it was all these old, these young geezers, fucking, Bruce Springsteen was young in 84. He had the best album of the year. Cyndi Lauper had a great album in 84. Michael Jackson had a great album in 84. Huey Lewis and the News had a great album in 84. All these people were there, plus a bunch of legendary guys like Ray Charles and Waylon Jennings and Bob Dylan. And you could see from the beginning, Bob Dylan wasn't comfortable. That's not his shit. He don't like being in a room with 30 people with egos. Everybody had an ego.
Right.
Not along. When you watch it, it's very interesting. But at the end, Bob Dylan is having a hard time. And then people who don't know art are like, he was something was wrong with him. No, he was a fish out of water, and he didn't know. He forgot rule number 1. We forget it at every age. And that's why I'm going to keep pounding it. When I write my comedy book, I got it in there. Keep pounding this. It's to be yourself. He thought he went in there and he heard all these people singing. And he goes, I can't sing like none of these motherfuckers. Bob Dylan has a very unique voice. When he sings, you're like, that's Bob Dylan. Nobody could do Bob Dylan. There's no Bob Dylan impersonators with the fucking harmonica and shit. But this is the beauty of it. Stevie Wonder is a great, I could talk like you, a mimic.
Yeah.
Like a mimic. I don't know these words.
Impersonator or something like that?
Kind of like he had to sit Bob Dylan down and sing the song how they wanted him to sing it. And all of a sudden he went up there and it was fucking Bob Dylan. And you're like, what the fuck took so long? I'll tell you what took so long. He forgot rule number 1, to be yourself.
Wow.
And it's
crazy that Bob Dylan can forget it.
Everybody forgets it. Everybody fucking forgets it until you go, oh shit. When you're on a movie set and you go in there and the guy's like, Lee, I got a movie part for you. Give me about 2 months. Then he'll call you a week before. He goes, Lee, it's 3 lines. It's 3 lines and, you got this. You're going to put so much pressure on you. I don't even know what I was going to tell you. You're going to put so much pressure on yourself. There's a great story about Caddyshack.
Okay.
They brought Rodney Dangerfield down. And this all goes in the same kind of, and it was his first fucking movie thing, And he went out there and busted Rodney, but nobody laughed. And all of a sudden he's like, cut. And then he's like, nobody laughed. He goes, Rodney, we're shooting a fucking movie. We can't laugh. And then the people busted out, But what I'm trying to say to you is, you're going to go in there and you're going to think about somebody. I don't know why this happens. It happens to me. When I read lines, when I get an audition and I read the lines, right away I know who they're looking for.
Interesting.
In my mind, I go, if I had the money, this is what I would get. So I think psychologically that tells me I got to act like this fucking Chinook.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so, you forget about this shit. So when you're there on the set, and they're making you fucking do it over and do it over. And you're like, what the fuck? I'm saying the lines right. They didn't want you to say the lines. They could hire a dummy to say the lines. They could hire a Special Olympian to say the lines. They don't need that. They want the way Lee would say it. Hey, give me the gun. Right. I'm going to leave.
Holy.
I don't know how to think, because in movies those cops are always like the bad cops, they're always crooked, but the way you describe it, cops don't make that much money, and
everybody in life gets jaded at their job.
Yeah.
Some people are listening to this right now going, Joey, I would want you to hear the other side of this. No matter what type of job you do, you're a working fucking stiff till the end. I'm a working stiff. Lee would have been a working stiff as an editor. You would have got promoted finally as an editor, and you're still 28. And when do you retire?
65.
So unless you open up your own business, you're a fucking working stiff.
40 years, yeah.
So for 40 years, you're a working stiff, okay? Now, I don't know if this becomes the same for cops. I'm going to break it down for you guys and everybody here at some point at 38 goes, what the fuck am I doing? I just saw a bill by mistake. They pay me $15 an hour. They charge $55 for me. And I'm only getting $15. And yet, $15 goes to insurance and state taxes. But they're still getting $25 from me for labor-wise. I'm making $15 an hour, and this is what I'll do till I'm fucking 65. Whatever. Everybody gets jaded at their work. Somebody gets a promotion. You find out some idiot makes more than you. My wife is a fucking hard worker. My wife doesn't believe in theft. When she was a waitress and, she didn't want to work at the store no more. Then she went to fucking Starbucks. I would talk to my wife. My wife is such a Gentile. She doesn't believe in theft. Everything is by the fucking penny. The other day she found that the chiropractor clipped us for $65. She goes, I read somewhere that all medical bills are off. They're all wrong. You should go through them. I was off of my insurance. She went through all my bills, found out that I was over. Called my insurance, got my insurance bumped to level 1. My wife is a fucking hawk when it comes to this. She worked. Boom, she got pregnant one day. 10 years on the job. They paid for her pregnancy. She wasn't doing nothing. She fucking was a Slim Jim Magoo. That bitch cried for a week, but she went to work after 8 weeks. She went to work and she drove home with her tits leaking, you know, from the milk, and she'd feed Mercy, and, you know, I would see the anguish in her face, and I pleaded with her to quit, and she told me she couldn't quit. And about 3 weeks later, she came home one day, and she said that they gave her a raise. They gave her like a 1.3% raise. And she was never so embarrassed in her life that she's outworked 3 of the fucking people. And then they took the girl that's the baby's godmother, and she had been there for 10, 12 years, 15 years. And instead of hiring her, they got somebody from the outside. And she started thinking about how, you know, these people really don't give a fuck. That's why I got into comedy and blah, blah, blah. And I was very smart, and that was part of it. I was jaded. I didn't want to work for people no more. I was sick and tired. I didn't want to be there 9 to fucking 5, you know? And I saw my wife get jaded, and she goes, I'm quitting. Then she didn't do it for like 2 months, and then she started going back part-time. After 3 days, she came home and she goes, I can't do it no more. I hate those fucking people. Same thing happens when you're a cop. Same thing happens when you truly believe in your heart that you're helping people. You really believe in your heart that you're helping people. And all of a sudden, you help somebody, you call an ambulance, and they get up and try to shoot you. You go to these houses, these people don't give a fuck about you because you're a cop. You're always the enemy, no matter what they tell you. I grew up believing in police officers. I really did. I grew up believing, and I still do.
Even as a criminal,
even as a criminal, I still believe in police officers. I still believe that they do good. But then again, you're going to get guys that are jaded. And then since they work long hours, they get jaded in their personal lives. Their wives leave them. You know, most of these cops have a few marriages. They get drunk. They don't tell. I can't come home and tell you. I come home at night. What'd you do today? I shot a movie with Dean Cain. What'd you guys do? Well, today's, we got chased by a dog. We ran up the stairs and chased the dog, and then we ran down and they chased us. Then there's another scene where he puts a string out and we both jump over and we both fall. I can't tell my wife that I saved the kid in the dumpster today, and the kid was half burnt. And this is, and all of a sudden I tend to do drugs. All of a sudden I arrest somebody one day and they have 3 baggies of meth, but I only turn in 2 of them. And I do a little bit of it. You know, God knows what an officer's mind is thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not sticking up for the guy who shot the 12-year-old in Cleveland.
No.
I'm not sticking up for Hands Up. I'm not sticking up for Ferguson. I'm just telling you that before we accuse, we have to think of both sides about it. And I hate to get into these conversations because there'll always be critics of this, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's fucking true. I was on both sides, and I was very lucky. I never drew on a cop.
You never take a gun out?
I was never that fucking crazy.
Right.
I didn't have that much of a death wish. For years I thought I did, but I really didn't. And a lot of fucked up shit could happen. I drive home on the 10. I drive home on the 101, Lee. So do you. How many times you go to fucking Compton? You're a white kid in Compton, right? For a year you drove to fucking a bad neighborhood. You're coming home one night, they say, pull this guy over. He's here for drug activity.
Yeah?
They pull you out of a fucking car. Where's the drugs? I'm not here for drugs. They smack you. When you go home, how are you going to feel about the cops?
Yeah, you're going to hate them.
You're going to believe, not hate them, but you're going to believe in them anymore? Are you ever going to down? You know, it's just, we get jaded in so many different fucking levels, Lee.
Yeah.
So.
I just had a cousin who had to quit being a social worker because he'd done it for like 2 years and he was just like, I can't do it anymore. Every week there's a new kid who gets beat up, or it was terrible.
I mean, all you could do is live your life the right way.
Yeah.
And pray to God you never get accused of something wrongly. And pray to God you're not at the wrong place at the wrong fucking time.
Right.
You know.
So how's the movie going, by the way?
The movie is... First off, I didn't want to do this fucking movie. I had the worst attitude about it. Because what they do is they do SAG low budget movies. They give you a little taste of the back end. And you get limited visibility. You go on ABC Family or Ion or something like that, you know. The first one I gave my blood on this. I fell down. That was the beginnings of my pains when I started hurting my knee and shit. First one, if you watch it, I'm 400 pounds.
Oh, no.
Easy. And I'm falling on the floor. I'm running upstairs. And then like the second and third one, you know, we were talking about something the other day. I don't like doing a lot of shit. Once I do it a few times, I move on, you know, and I always thought I wanted to move on from this. When they called this time, I had a date in Chicago, but I had another movie that had called. And they ended up pushing that back till March or something. So I got stuck with this, you know. I didn't want to do it, and they were fucked. They've been great the whole time. One day the air conditioning broke on the trailer the second day. But besides that, this is what I do.